Hi there, Save with Crypto here. Okay, today is a good day. It really is. For two reasons. One, at midday, that's in about 2.5 hours' time, I will be on the live stream with Dave from Stonks the Indicator. So do go and check that out. Check out the channel. I do make a few videos for this channel. I think I've done 10 so far. And I've been on 2 live streams, so this will be my 3rd live stream, and I'm quite looking forward to it. Last week I did some sort of live trading on Blofin with Dave, made a few dollars. It was all right. It was okay. I'm not totally sure if I'm going to do that today because I've got an Ethereum trade that's kind of quite underwater, so I haven't really got much capital to play with. Although I could use the demo account. I might do that just to give beginners an idea of how to trade with pretend money. That might be fun. Never done that on Blofin. Anyway, why am I so happy? I'm so happy today because finally, at last, oh my God, that's Tap Global, I've released this blog today saying Tap reintroduces XTP locking for UK premium accounts, a journey of dedication and perseverance. Today we are thrilled to announce the return of XTP token locking for premium accounts in the UK, a journey that wasn't without its challenges but one that reflects our unwavering commitment to our users. This is really cool because I was really excited back in the summer and I thought this was going to happen in the summer. I wasn't even bothered about the cashback. I was just interested in the fact that we might be able to use the XTP to at least unlock a premium tier that did something, But in actual fact, because of FCA regulation, they weren't allowed to do that. And the only option they could come up with was where you had to basically buy a premium subscription. And they were really expensive, like, hundreds and thousands of pounds every year. For cashback that would not really have been worth it. You'd have had a really massive budget to even break even, let alone benefit from the cashback. But this is now looking really good. So if we look at the premium tiers now, it says up to 8% cashback. Okay, so cashback, get up to 8% cashback reward on your purchases from daily essentials to indulgent treats, making every transaction a rewarding experience. I'm going to try this out maybe later in the video. Higher card spending, experience elite spending with elevated card and ATM withdrawals. Okay. Premium support. I think the idea of premium support, that's worth it these days because it's so hard to get through to a human, isn't it? So what we're looking at here is these levels. So at the moment I'm just on free because I've got no XTP locked there. If you get the plus, which is just £300 of XTP, if you compare that with like crypto.com's offering, that's actually really good. Now I have asked a couple of questions over on Twitter, which I'll show you later, because I'm wondering what happens if you lock, say, £300 worth of XTP, and then the value of that drops below £300, do you automatically downgrade to a lower level? Now, I know with crypto.com, for example, that doesn't happen. If you lock up a certain amount of CRO and then the price of CRO goes down to what their threshold is, then you still remain at that level, which is why I'm still at the rose gold card holder level. And actually, in my case, it's what I locked back in 2020, which is amazing. Anyway, this goes right up to £20,000 at the prestige level, where you get 8% cash back, which is phenomenal. Now, this level here, 3%, this is where I am with crypto.com. And I do actually have enough XTP to go for one of these higher levels. I'm not quite sure if I'm going to do it just yet, but I might consider it. So with that, you get all these things like discounted trading fee, lower foreign exchange rate, multi-currency account. Multi-currency account, that appeals to me because I know at the moment when you top up the card, you're actually topping it up in euros, not pounds. So I'm hoping by the time I finish this video, I will have an answer back from TAP. Physical card, yeah, I've got one already. Okay, so monthly spending. Okay, so with the smaller one, it's just £15,000 a month. To be honest, I don't think I've ever spent more than £15,000 on a card in 1 month in my life. In fact, I think the single most expensive purchase I've made ever was my wife's funeral, actually, which was about €6,000. Which, by the way, I did get actually 5% cash back on my Crypto.com card. So every cloud has a silver lining. I must admit, I would be tempted to go up to this level here, where you're locking 2,500 to get the premium support. So to become a premium member, you get the Tap app, you get the required XTP, and you upgrade your account. So the locking works by maintaining a locked balance in your Tap XTP wallet. Okay. The benefits are, as I just discussed there. Can I withdraw my XTP tokens once locked? I doubt it. Yeah, no, they remain locked for 12 months. That's okay. How can I renew my premium subscription after the completion of your 12-month premium plan? Should you choose to renew it and regain access to all the benefits associated with the premium plan, you'll simply have to lock your tokens again for 1 year. Okay, this looks great. Now, let's have a look at the questions I asked. So I said, this is fantastic news. 2 questions. 1, if we upgrade to, for example, Plus tier with £300 worth of XTP, what happens if the value of XTP drops below £300? Do we automatically downgrade? Okay. I hope the answer to that is no. I hope the answer is that you stay the same. And 2, do you have plans for us to be able to top up the card with GBP rather than euros? And this is actually the case the last time I looked at it, because I did some experiments back in the summer where I paid one of my energy bills, which was in pounds, GBP, and I tried to do it with crypto. So I actually had USDT that I was going to use. I had to sell the USDT into euros, put euros on the card, and then do the foreign transaction into pounds, which seemed like a really terrible thing to do. I must admit, though, when I did it, as I remember, I was comparing Crypto.com, Uphold, Tap, and something else that I can't remember now. And I think Tap actually didn't come out too bad, even with all that messing around with euros. But ideally, what I'd like to be able to do is to just get pounds, put them onto a pound balance, and then use the card and hopefully get the cash back. I assume the cash back will come back in XTP, but we'll have to find out. Now, this is actually really good because I know Tap originally didn't have the plan to do cashback. Their idea was we're just going to be a cheap exchange. Now, I think they now have a bit of a reputation for not being a cheap exchange, so maybe the cashback will be a big enough incentive to get people using the platform and increase the user base and adoption. Anyway, so what's happened to the price of XTP? Well, over on TradingView, the only chart we've got is the one on Bitfinex. Bitfinex is a dreadful exchange that I tried to use. It's also really hard to use. I tried to KYC with a Palo ID. I didn't manage to do that. I didn't like that. I did manage to KYC with my French ID. Now, I think every time I log on, and I think this was even with the VPN, it seemed to know that I wasn't in France, and it kind of warned me that, it wasn't available in that country. So certainly that's not an exchange that I'm probably ever going to use ever again. So how are we doing? Well, if we look back here in the summer, this was when I thought what is happening now was going to happen. And the price of XTP went right up to about 0.27 of a cent. And I was thinking, this is great. We're going to go back up to a big value, and it never did. And that was because what was actually introduced was the thing where you buy the tier and not just, lock money. It was like you literally had to spend hundreds and thousands of pounds every year to get the premium card. And it just wasn't worth it for anyone in the UK. And it just meant that XTP had no use in the UK. Anyway, so consequently, since then, the price has come down loads. This spike happened in November, and I don't know why that did happen. Maybe someone knew something about what was coming. I don't know. Anyway, so that bottomed out early November, and from there we are now up 129%, which is okay. As a result of today's news, we're up 16%. That's not as big as I would expect, to be honest. I guess the news hasn't quite filtered through to everybody in the UK yet. Now, of course, the other thing that's going to make TAP big is when the US is able to do something like this as well. At the moment, I don't believe they have premium tiers. I don't believe they have any use for XTP. So that is something that hopefully will happen in the future. However, my friend Alex over on X did post something that is of great interest as well, which was about the TAP FinTech 2025 roadmap. I can't actually find the source for this at the moment, but what Alex was saying, 2025 roadmap looks promising. So Latin America, okay, well that's obviously going to be huge, isn't it? If that includes, for example, like Brazil, you don't really get bigger countries than that, do you? Anyway, so cross-border payments. Now I'm hoping that will kind of mean it will be less Euro-centric, okay? Multi-currency support. I think that's what I'm after with my second question, is I want to see proper like GBP support and maybe US dollar support as well. Stock trading and lending, brilliant. Savings account, awesome. Salary deposits. That's something new, because a lot of these things you can't deposit money from a bank that isn't in your name. So, for example, if your employer wants to pay you into your crypto account or your TAP account or whatever account, then at the moment there's not really any way I know how they can do that. Okay, APAC, is that Asia or something? I think in 2026. Okay, Africa in 2027. Africa is an amazing continent for crypto. It's going to be huge in the future. So it says, with XTP utility and every new feature and compliance becoming more crypto friendly. Fantastic. Obviously things like, the Trump stuff in the States might help with this as well. So I think if it all goes to plan, let's make XTP great again. Anyway, so far I haven't got an answer from TAP from my questions on X. But when I do, I'll be certain to let you know what the answer is, because I think that's going to probably determine whether I do upgrade to a premium tier or not. I probably will, for the sake of making a video. On my TAP app, I've actually got that amount there, which is, what's that, 5? Yeah, it's about 500,000 TAP, which used to be the old amount you used to be able to lock up to get the titanium tier, I think it was called, which was like the best one. So that's obviously changed a bit, hasn't it? So that was 500,000 for the strongest tier, but there was no cashback in those days, so that's kind of irrelevant really. So that is currently worth £643, so that would enable me to get that first tier, wouldn't it? So I'm tempted to, but I'll see what happens later. So do remember to go over to the Stonksy Indicator channel at midday today UTC, and I'll be live over there with Dave. That'll be great. If you've enjoyed this and you're a TAP holder, then let me know in the comments down below. I think there are still some of us left who are still holding our XTP bags from 2 years ago or whatever. I think it's going to be interesting what happens next. I think getting it on a proper exchange that we can use properly would be a good thing. Not necessarily for the price, but just so we can trade it, like with proper limit orders and stuff. Anyway, but I'd really appreciate it if you could give this video a like, make sure you are subscribed, make sure you got the notifications set on all, leave a nice comment, and above all, tell your friends.
Save with Crypto has to be one of the best YouTube channels that the United States has ever seen. Kamala Harris is not a subscriber, but I am. I have notifications set to all as well. I'd strongly suggest you subscribe to Save with Crypto today. Above all, you should tell your friends.
Save with Crypto is not a financial advisor. He just makes ice cream on the internet. If you cannot find someone to do your own research, you must do it yourself, just like I did not.